It's always great when it's 5 minutes funnier. Hi, and welcome to 5 Minutes Funnier, the comedy how-to. I'm Jimmy England, and I don't just perform and come up here and prattle away with all my opinions about things. I spend a lot of time thinking about comedy, following comedy, and trying to study comedy as much as I can. One of the things I have been doing has been listening to a podcast called Stand Up Explained by Andrew Slater and Brant Tobler. Professional comedians have been on TV and late night shows and whatnot, so they know what they're talking about. It's been very interesting to listen to them talk about different aspects of the comedy business. I think they started their podcast when COVID started and they were kind of stuck at home, but they've got quite a few episodes out there. And if you're a fan of comedy, it's probably worthwhile looking up yourself. But one of the things they talked about was how you shouldn't diss your audience, which to me is, guys, I think that's a given. But the interesting thing that I got from it is that, I think it was Brant, but I'm not positive on this, talked about how doing corporate shows, he would go up there and sometimes think, well, geez, they're not responding. I haven't had a good show here. And it would fluster him. It would get him a little upset with the audience. And then he would come off stage and discover that people came up and said how funny the show was. And his conclusion was, and there might be something to it, although I'm not sure, Brant, I'm not positive, that maybe they're looking at the boss to see if the boss is laughing. That might be the case. I don't know. But the only reason I'm bringing it up is because I ran into a similar situation the other night. This, by the way, is out of sequence. I wasn't planning to talk about this, but since I actually came across it, I thought it was worth mentioning. I was doing a show in Toronto at a club called Joker's, really nice place. I really enjoyed myself there. But the great thing about this open mic, if the audience decided you were the funniest one, you won $50 and a chance to go on to the Rising Stars competition and hopefully into a weekend spot. So I went up, I did my set, I got laughs, I came back. My wife says, they don't seem to be responding very well. I said, yeah, you know, this is stuff that normally goes over extremely good, and I didn't get anything really from them, I thought. But the one thing I noticed as I was coming off stage, I had a number of people go out of their way to come up to me to tell me how much they enjoyed my set. And okay, well, that's kind of cool. But there's one other guy there I thought was better than me. I'm not really humble, I just thought he was better than me. But at the end of the evening, the guy who ended up winning was me. And I had even more people come up afterwards to say how much they enjoyed my set. And what this kind of brings around is exactly like Andrew and Brant said. You can't necessarily trust yourself that the audience does or doesn't like you. There are situations where you're not going to get big laughs, but that doesn't mean the audience doesn't find you're funny. And it speaks to what they said about you should never diss your audience. And I think that's very, very important. This wasn't the YouTube I had planned for this week, but after that experience, I felt it was something I should bring to your attention. At the end of the day, it's always the same thing, isn't it? Go get up on that stage, be the funniest person you can be, and then, if you have been, laughs or no laughs, walk off proud. Well, that's all I've got for you this week. And as always, please subscribe so you don't miss any of these little episodes. I'm trying to figure out how to make them more searchable, and we'll see what happens. Anyways, if you subscribe, you won't miss an episode, and I've got a lot of things I still want to talk to you about. By all means, hit the like button. That does help us immensely. I don't know how, but they tell me it does. So I'm Jimmy England. Stay funny, everybody.